Hello students, welcome to this next session on electromagnetics. So today we are going to discuss about a very important concept, that is Coulomb's law. Okay, so which is giving me the value of the electrostatic force. So if I have two charges, so let's suppose this is my charge 1, I am denoting it with Q1, and this is my charge 2, I am denoting it with Q2. And this is at the point A and this is at the point B. So now these two charges are exerting some force upon each other. So if the distance between them is R, so this is the R distance, then in this case we will be finding out that what is exactly the force exerted by these two charges on each other. So Q1 and Q2, depending upon their nature, if Q1 and Q2 both are electrons and both are protons, then they will be having the repulsive force. And if Q1 and Q2 are both different from each other, one is electron and another is proton, then there will be attractive force. So we'll be seeing that how we can derive exactly what is the force between two static charges. Now these point A and B are fixed, Q1 and Q2 are not at all moving. So first of all, I want to begin this session with the basic fundamentals of electromagnetics or electrostatics first, that is resistance and capacitance. I will be talking about inductance also, but in the later section, in some later lectures. So today I am going to discuss what is resistance and what is capacitance. So what is resistance? We know what is Ohm's law. We all have studied about it. So what is Ohm's law? According to the Ohm's law, the current produced in any circuit is directly proportional to the voltage applied at the circuit. So if I have higher voltage, it will produce higher current in the circuit. So most of us remember this law as V is directly proportional to I. Actually it is reverse, I is directly proportional to V, and this is called as Ohm's law. Okay, so here we have a proportional sign. If we remove this proportional sign, we'll be having a proportionality constant. What it would be? The proportionality constant in this case will be G. Okay, so I is equal to G into V is my final equation. So what is G? I hope you know G. G is the conductance. So G is my conductance, and now if I need to find out V, I can take G here in the left hand side in the denominator. So V is equal to I upon G, and 1 upon conductance is, we know what it is resistance. So which means V is equal to IR. Because 1 upon G is equal to R, so here I'll be writing it. So because 1 upon G is equal to R, 1 upon conductance is equal to resistance. This is the reason why we have V is equal to IR. So this is actually the equation that we remember in the Ohm's law. So actually this equation is derived from here. So from here we conclude that V is equal to IR. Now if I plot this, so if I have this graph, so now if I have to plot the relationship between V and I, so if this is my V is dependent or independent? So V, from here you can see V is independent and I is dependent. So I am making I on the y-axis and I am making V on the x-axis. Both are following the linear relationship. So we'll be having the graph like this. So this is the graph which represents V is equal to IR, or it is the representation of the Ohm's law, and its slope will give me the R. Okay, so the slope of this graph will give me the value of the resistance. Now coming to the capacitance. So what is capacitance? Capacitance can be measured from the two dielectric slabs. So if I have these two dielectric plates, so I am taking their area to be A. So area here is A, and the distance between both of them is D. Okay, so the value of the capacitance is given by, so I am denoting capacitance with C. Value of the capacitance is given by epsilon naught A upon D. I am supposing that here I am computing all of the things in the free space, so I am using epsilon naught. So I will be talking about epsilon also in the later section of this video only. So these are two dielectric materials, the plates of the dielectric material which are placed some distance apart in the vacuum. So this is my capacitor and this is the capacitance. Now here if I give another relationship, so Q is equal to CV. Okay, so this is the relationship between the charge on these plates and the voltage applied across these plates. Okay, so now I know the relationship of I know that I is dq upon dt. So now here if I put the value of dq will be measured for voltage dV. So like if I put here, I will be C dV by dt. Okay, so now this is the relationship between the current and the voltage in the case of capacitor. So this is the relationship between the current and voltage in case of resistor, and this is the relationship between current and voltage in case of capacitor. Now coming to the Coulomb's law. What is Coulomb's law? I have already told you we have two static charges. These charges could be both electron or both protons or one electron or one proton. They are separated by r distance. So now Coulomb gave a law that if I need to find out the force is directly proportional to the product of these charges. Force is directly proportional to Q1 into Q2, and also force is inversely proportional to the 1 upon r square. So now if I combine both of these equations, what I'll be having? So if I combine it, so I can say force is directly proportional to Q1 Q2 upon r square. So this is the conclusion that we are deriving. Okay, force is directly proportional to Q1 Q2 upon r square. Here also we have a proportional sign. If I want to remove this proportional sign, I'll be having a proportionality constant. So let me write it. Okay, so force is equal to K Q1 Q2 upon r square. What is K? K is the constant of the proportionality, and what is the exact value of K? The exact value of K is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. So if I talk about the free space, in the free space what I'll be having? K is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is actually the permittivity of the free space. Okay, so here in the free space I have epsilon, and now if I don't have free space, epsilon is given by epsilon naught into epsilon r, where epsilon naught is the permittivity of the free space and epsilon naught is given by, okay, so epsilon naught is equal to 8.85 into 10 raised to power minus 12. Okay, so this is the permittivity of the free space. Now epsilon r will depend upon the medium in which my charges are placed. So if I have same charges Q1 and Q2 which are at same distance apart, but if I am changing the medium, firstly I have placed them in the free space, then I am replacing the medium to be air, then I am replacing the medium to be water. So at all of these conditions the resultant force will be different. And now let me tell you, force is a vector quantity. Now if I have to denote the force as a vector quantity, I must denote its direction as well. So what is the direction of the force? So here dr represents the direction of the force, or don't get confused that it's a differentiation, so let's take it as AR. Okay, so AR is the direction of the force, and here now force is represented as a vector quantity. So now if I have any two charges placed in the three-dimensional coordinates, so I am denoting the three-dimensional coordinates here. So as you can see that my charge q1 is placed at the origin, which is 0, 0, 0. This is my x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. The charge q2 is placed at x1, y1 and z1. So now if I have to denote what is x1, what is y1 and what is z1. So this portion where I have the height is z1, and this portion when this line intersect the y-axis is y1, and here it is x1. So I hope this thing is clear. Now if I have to denote what is r, I can give the vector representation of r. So how I can denote the r? So r is a vector, so it can be represented as x1 minus 0 ax. So x1 ax, I am directly writing it, plus y1 ay plus z1 az. So this is my r. Now if I need to find out the magnitude of the r, so magnitude of r is under root x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square. Now if I need to find out the unit vector along r, so ar is the unit vector along r, so what it would be? So if I divide it by its magnitude, so it will be the unit vector. So ar is represented as r vector upon magnitude of r. So now we know what is r vector, we know what is magnitude of r. We'll be putting it in this equation and we'll be finding out what is force. So let's put it in the equation, and we'll be having force is equal to, so this is the r. What will be the r square? So if I square this term, I will be having the r square. So this under root will cancel out. So here I will be having. So okay, this is my 1 upon 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 upon r square. Now I have to multiply it with ar. So for ar, what I will be doing? So ar, I will be using this formula. Ar is r vector upon magnitude of r vector. So it is multiplied with okay, so this is my force. Now can I simplify this equation? Yes, I can simplify this equation. If you see the denominator, I have x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square, and here also we have x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square. Here the power of x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square is 1, and here it is 1 by 2. So now if I have two numbers, if I have, let's suppose x, it is multiplied with another power of x, so it is multiplied with x square. What would be the answer? Answer will be x cube. So what at all I am doing? I am adding the powers. So the power will be 3. So here what are the powers? Power is 1 plus 1 by 2. So the power, resultant power will be 3 by 2. So now I'll be putting the resultant power and I'll be getting the final equation of the force. So this is the q1 q2 upon 4 pi epsilon x1 ax plus y1 ay plus z1 az upon x1 square plus y1 square plus z1 square raised to power 3 by 2 Newton. So the unit of force is Newton. It's a vector quantity. We know the direction. The direction is always from Q1 to Q2 or in the direction of Q1 and Q2. Okay. So the direction could be anything from Q1 to Q2 or Q2 to Q1. Okay. So it depends upon the nature of Q1 and Q2. So here I'll be concluding my session. I hope you understood what is Coulomb's law, what is Ohm's law, what is capacitance, and how we can find out the Coulomb's law in the case of three-dimensional coordinates. So I hope you like this video. If you like it, share it with your friends, subscribe the channel and push the like button. Thank you so much.